Hi everyone. For St. Jordi, I'm going to read a bit from my forthcoming translation from Lalla Romano's In Farthest Seas, which will be out with Pushkin Press in the US in August and in the UK in September. It's a pretty beautiful and powerful book in which Romano reflects on the death of her husband, Innocenzo, and their life together. I'll read a couple of chapters, which are very short and essential, from part two of the book, which is called 4 Months. The first chapter is a poem, and I'll start with the second chapter. Two. I cannot receive images of beauty from our happy life together. I have to cross those of sickness and death. I have to start from all the times I thought he might die. The first time, not in Venice, where he seemed to have come down with something the way one does as a child, which doesn't mean anything. And in fact, I'd suggested broth as a cure in that nightmare hotel on the canal. The first time was in our home on the avenue, when he came in looking pale later than usual. Maybe they brought him home. That was it, pale. My uncle, the doctor, came, who was small in stature and annoyed about the fact. He said that his heart was fatigued because in people who are too tall, it needs to pump more. My uncle restored his honor the first night our child was sick, when I was frantic because I didn't know what to give him, and he suggested dipping a little piece of gauze in sugared water for him to suck on. As for Innocenzo's heart, it was so strong that in the agony of death, it could not cease to beat. His agony. Even the last, the supreme mortal malady revealed itself through pallor. 3. In one of those long, silent nights in our home on the avenue, I was woken by shouts. Burglars! Wake up, I shake him. They're burglars. Where? Downstairs, at the seamstresses. There were seamstresses there too, like on Via Barbaroux and at my great uncle the priest's home, behind, in a small, low house. He gets up, goes to the window, leans out of it. The shouts dissipate, die out. He waits a little and falls back asleep, resting on the windowsill. And the same thing the night I gave birth. He wouldn't wake up. I called him, touched him. I was almost afraid for myself. When he understood, he ran. No, he didn't actually run. To call for my mother, all the way on Via Barbaroux and the midwife, I think, who scared me. He was so young. When we went to the municipality offices to declare the birth, the civil servant squared him up and down, said, "Send me the father." Youth is not always beautiful, but he was, and he seemed untouchable. Precisely in that large, bright, and tranquil bedroom, I had a premonition. At night, naturally. And it must have been a dream. I saw death at the foot of the bed, on my side, a nun. It was Mère Consolata, smiling. In Turin, at the Faithful Companions, we girls considered her false. Her unwavering smile, stamped and pulled across her face, seemed phony to us. I didn't remember then Cassetta's dream. Only now does it come back to me. Cassetta was droll, extremely intelligent, and she was devoted to me. We were classmates in school and then at university. After that, she disappeared. I don't know how or where. She had told me in a long letter that she dreamt my wedding. The groom was brown-haired, and I was happy, but the coach was one for mourning, and the horses were draped in black. 4. When we had recently been married, he translated Joyce's The Dead for me. Does snow fall in that story? Or maybe we read it while it snowed. I've always connected the two. And also once with the Hammerklavier, I said to my close friend Turin, who was dying, how beautiful it was to listen to that sonata while it snows outside. And I thought, well, someone is dying. In a silence shared, too, there is snow as death and death as peace. Thank you very much. That last reference to a silence shared is her previous novel. Thank you and happy St. Geordie to everyone.